If we ever get a stretch of really nice weather, an extravagant stretch of, say, 3 or maybe even 4 or 5 nice days in a row, you're going to find all kinds of fun ideas for things to do in the July issue of Down East Magazine. Its editor-in-chief, Brian Kevin, is with us again on 207 to talk about some of what's in this issue. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I love summer issues because they just reinforce the good feelings.
Sure.
So let's talk about some of the things that you have in this issue. Let us begin with a topic that everybody loves, waterfalls. You've got a nice guide to more than 24 waterfalls around the state.
If you are not necessarily someone who hikes simply for the aerobic thrill of hiking, it's nice to have something at the end of that hike to like a piece of cake at the end of a meal. And so yes, we ran down more than 24 different, some of our favorite falls, some of which require a little bit of strenuous hiking to get to, some of which are roadside. We talked to Greg Westrich, who's a terrific hiking author, who just has written the book on waterfalls about some of like what to look for and how to understand the geography, the hydrogeography, and little waterfall trivia.
Don't have time to talk about all of them, so we'll hit just one recommendation, which is Angel Falls, which is a favorite of yours.
Yeah, I think it's a favorite of a lot of people's. It is by some measures the highest waterfall in Maine. There is some debate about how you quantify that, but it's just outside of Rangeley. It's a very reasonable hike in, but you get to feel a little bit back and beyond because you sort of follow a forest road to get to the trailhead. It has just a kind of beautiful pattern. I think it's called Angel Falls because under some circumstances the spray can sort of look like wings, so that gives you a pretty good idea. Well worth the effort. I'm going to cop to the fact I've actually only been in the winter. I've never personally seen it in the summer, but I know it's much beloved.
You actually get bonus points for going in the winter.
It's a slog in the winter. I recommend going this summer.
There's a nice guide to classic Maine restaurants, places that have stood the test of time. How'd you go about doing this?
I mean, you hear a lot around Maine as we are becoming more and more this dining capital about what's new and what's sexy. And I think we wanted to sort of take a minute and pay attention to places that have been around for 25 years or longer and that are sort of anchors of the community and that have in some cases introduced us to whole cuisines. And so I think we tried to round up places that weren't just old for the sake of being old, but are somehow sort of illustrative of what it means to dine out in their particular corner of the state.
I like the approach. Let's just hit on a few of them. Havana in Bar Harbor is one you chose.
I mean, it's just been being an incredibly nice experience of a restaurant for over 2 decades. The Obamas ate at Havana, and in a town where you see a lot of turnover in a place like Bar Harbor, like a town that thrives on tourism, they've just been a stalwart, and you always know you can get there and walk out with an amazing and beautifully plated meal.
You look at a lot of diners and other kind of casual places. You can't talk hot dogs in Maine without talking about Simone's in downtown Lewiston.
Which is famous because, of course, it's where politicians will go and shake hands and kiss babies and things. It's also like fun and delicious and not aiming too high. And then you have a place like Havana where you go for a date night. You also want to pay credit to places that you can just go in and spend $5 and walk out full.
And then a place that thousands of people drive by every day, the Brunswick Diner. Right on Pleasant
thousands
Street.
do probably drive by.
Absolutely,
Don't they? Obviously like a stalwart of the community, if you're a Bowdoin student, if you're somebody who's grown up in the lower mid-coast, you've probably had an amazing breakfast or back in the day a late night meal at the Brunswick Diner. It has all of that sexy chrome appeal. It's just kind of a classic.
Let's end with the cover story in this issue, which is a look at the lively lake scene in the Sebago Lakes area during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big party on the water, right? The whole Sebago Lakes region. And now this story, which is by Jed Coffin, focuses primarily on Brandy Pond, on Long Lake, and the greater sort of Naples area. But I think he and the photographer Matt Trogner did a good job of capturing just some of the freewheeling vibe that the boat people of Sebago, the greater Sebago region, kind of managed to Are you a pontoon guy?
I think it's great fun.
I love it. I rented one a couple summers ago. I got to captain a pontoon for a weekend, and I completely see the appeal. If you have kids, it's a blast. And there's all this infrastructure around Naples that sort of caters to the boat crowd, from pizza delivery on the dock to all the marinas. Yeah. And let's not forget the Songo River Queen.
Songo River Queen, which is a fun thing to do.
It looks like a blast. You can go out there with a band. All of this energy, I think, is sort of captured in 8 pages.
Yeah, energy's the word for it. Brian, thank you so much. It's all in the July issue of Down East Magazine. You'll find more information on our website and app. And don't go away. 207 is going to return right after this.